urge them to vote no on the underlying bill. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from Georgia.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself such time as I may consume to say there are really a number of things that we agree on across this body. The gentleman from Massachusetts has very strong feelings about paying for the bills that we create today, and I share his passion for that. And I look forward to getting into the business of paying for those bills. What I do know is that we're not paying for the bills today. What I do know is that when I showed up for Congress on January 3rd of this year, that there was no spending plan to get us past March 4th. No spending plan. Just to be clear, showed up as a brand new member of Congress in January to learn that getting about the business means putting together a funding bill before March 4th because the previous Congress didn't take care of business. Now, I know my friend from Massachusetts wasn't in charge of the other, wasn't in charge of the Senate, although we all wish that we could be in charge of the Senate. But the business didn't get done, and that's why we're here today. That's why we're here today. That's the first reason why we're here today, to take care of business that didn't get done last year. But the second reason, Mr. Speaker, and the more important reason that we're here today, is because we said when we took over this body on January 5th that we would not go along with business as usual. It would have been a nothing to pass a bill that the President would sign that would say, hey, just keep on funding the government the way you've been funding it. Keep on racking up those trillion-dollar deficits the way you've been racking them up. Don't change a thing, fiddle while Rome burns. It would have been easy, except for my conscience, except for the conscience of the folks who were elected with me in November, except for our principles. It would have been easy. We chose the road less traveled that said, no, we're not going to put it off. There's always a reason to wait, Mr. Speaker. There's always a reason to wait, and we said, no, we are going to begin making the tough decisions today. Today. Now, that today was back in February, and we're still waiting on the Senate to get to the table so that we can have some of those negotiations. But I will say to my friend from New Jersey, who was terribly pleased that the riders were not included on this bill, if you think for a minute that I'm done fighting for life, you're mistaken. If you think for a minute that I'm done working to defund Planned Parenthood and its work that it's doing with federal dollars, you're mistaken. If you think for a minute that I've given up on ripping every nickel out of the budget that belongs to Obamacare and the nationalization of our health care system, you were mistaken. And if you think for a minute that I'm going to stop trying to repeal every single one of the job-killing, energy price hiking regulations that the EPA is promulgating across this country, chaining our small businesses down, you were mistaken. That fight might not be today. Today is about cutting $6 billion out of the budget that our children are not going to have to repay. Today is about keeping the government open for 3 more short weeks to give our friends in the Senate a chance to come to the table. But, Mr. Speaker, that day of reckoning is coming. The day of reckoning is coming because these are ideals that deserve the attention of this body. These are decisions that cannot be kicked down the road even further. These are decisions of principle on which compromise is often not an option. Sometimes you just have to take the vote, and somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong support of this rule. I rise in strong support of the underlying bill. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time, and I move the previous question on the resolution.
The gentleman yields back. Without objection, the previous question is ordered. The question is on adoption of the resolution. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted without objection.
I ask for the yeas and nays.
The yeas and nays are requested. Those favoring a vote by the yeas and nays will rise. A sufficient number having risen, the yeas and nays are ordered. Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, further proceedings on this question will be postponed. For what purpose does the gentleman from Georgia rise?
Mr. Speaker, I send to the desk a privileged concurrent resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
Clerk will report the concurrent resolution.
House Concurrent Resolution 30. Resolved that when the House adjourns on the legislative day of Thursday, March 17, 2011, Friday, March 18, 2011, or Saturday, March 19, 2011, on a motion offered pursuant to this concurrent resolution by its majority leader or his designee, it stand adjourned until 2 p.m. on Tuesday, March 29, 2011, or until the time of any reassembly pursuant to Section 2 of this concurrent resolution, whichever occurs first, and that when the Senate recesses or adjourns on any day from Thursday, March 17, 2011, through Friday, March 25, 2011, on a motion offered pursuant to this concurrent resolution by its majority leader or his designee, it stand recessed or adjourned until noon on Monday, March 28, 2011, or such other time on that day as may be specified in the motion to recess or adjourn, or an assembly pursuant to Section 2 of this concurrent resolution, whichever occurs first. Section 2. The Speaker of the House and the Majority Leader of the Senate, or their respective designees, acting jointly after consultation with the Minority Leader of the House and the Minority Leader of the Senate, shall notify the members of the House and the Senate, respectively, to reassemble